Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
Morning YouTube, just on my way to class. There's not a cloud in the sky. It is just gorgeous. Have to get my riding in before the triple-digit weather rolls in. I mean, we seriously just jumped 20 degrees in a day in terms of high temperature. And the weather shows that it's going to stay here for a bit. I'm not complaining. That's the one thing I've had to get used to here in Northern California. Is the mornings are about 20 to 30 degrees colder than the day temperatures. So if I see the weather forecast and the high is, let's say, 90, that means in the mornings when I go riding or go to class or whatever, it's around 60. So I have to plan ahead in terms of riding gear, and it's not a problem. I just layer up. And right now it's probably I'd say high in the mid-50s, and I'm wearing a very thin sweatshirt hoodie. I got my mesh jacket with a thermal layer, and then throughout the day as I need to, I just take off a layer, and it works beautifully. So it is a little bit of an inconvenience when you need to put on and take off the thermal layer from the jacket, but I think I've shared before, I hate being cold when I ride. So to me, being comfortable in the morning is well worth any inconvenience of having to remove a thermal layer. But summer is quickly rolling up. My kids are actually in the middle or at the tail end of their spring break. But school surprisingly is coming to a close. And I was starting to think about summer. Like, what am I gonna actually do? And I started to get some ideas about taking a really nice long adventure on the bike. I don't know what that might look like, but maybe Yellowstone. I mean, something like Tahoe is close. It's only about 3 hours away. It's not that bad. Something like Yellowstone would be probably amazing. I've already been to the Grand Canyon, but I think that would be fun on the bike as well. So I have a couple of friends that have mentioned something to me before as well. So yeah, that's a possibility. I'm thinking about a nice road trip where, you know, you do X amount of hours on the bike, which is a vacation in itself. I mean, let's be honest. But then you actually stay at a hotel overnight, or a campsite somewhere overnight. I'm kind of torn. Having to stay at a campsite means you have to bring a lot more gear with you, and I don't know if I want to do that on the bike. I mean, you're talking about a tail bag, saddle bags, tank bag, which, I mean, you might need anyway because of the extra things you need to bring even for an overnight trip. But anyway, those ideas have been percolating. But before I do that, I definitely need to get in I think the longest I've been on the bike has been around 3 hours. So I definitely need to get in a much longer stint, just to build up butt endurance. And I still have the stock seat. A couple people commented on a previous video. Yeah, it gets uncomfortable around hour 2. Sometimes I don't notice it, sometimes I do. The key for me is I take breaks. When I start to get uncomfortable, or when being uncomfortable is a distraction, like I'm thinking about it instead of thinking about the road or, you know, what's going on around me, then I know it's time to take a break. So that can be challenging when I'm off on some back roads and there's literally nowhere except the side of the road. But, you know, most of the time you can find something to get off and walk around. And that's usually all I need, is just a quick little break to stretch out and get off the bike and walk around a little bit. So I haven't had a problem. I mean, I would love an upgraded seat, but I think right now any available funds would go to saddlebags. I was thinking exhaust, but I think the most functional upgrade for me right now would be saddlebags. So, and I am late to my class.